Silence. Such a simple thing, isn't it? No noise, no reaction, just stillness. Yet, it's the loudest weapon you'll ever wield. You see, they expect chaos. They want your anger, your screams, your desperate attempts to explain yourself. That's how they feed their fragile egos, how they convince themselves they've won. But when you respond with silence, oh, that's when the real fun begins. Silence isn't weakness, it's control. It's the refusal to give them the satisfaction of your pain. And let me tell you, nothing terrifies them more than realizing they no longer have a grip on you. They thrive on attention, on the idea that their words and actions can pull your strings. But when you stop reacting, when you fold your arms, look them dead in the eye, and say nothing, that's when the panic sets in. You see, silence isn't just absence, it's presence, powerful, undeniable presence. It's the pause before the storm, the calm that makes them question everything. Did they go too far? Have they lost their grip? Are you planning your revenge, or are you simply untouchable? That uncertainty eats them alive. And here's the beauty of it, your silence forces them to confront themselves. No more distractions, no more scapegoats. It's just them, alone with their insecurities, their guilt, their shame. Your silence becomes their mirror, reflecting back every flaw they've tried so hard to hide. And as they crumble under the weight of their own reflection, you rise. Unbothered, untouched, unstoppable. So the next time someone disrespects you, don't waste your breath trying to set the record straight. Just smile, stay silent, and let your absence say everything they're too afraid to hear. Let's talk about something simple, something that's been eating you up inside: disrespect. Oh, how it burns, how it festers slowly, like an infection. It's not just the words they say, the slights, the insults, or the looks. It's the way it gnaws at you, digs into your skin, right beneath the surface. It crawls under your defenses, finds its way into your thoughts, and before you know it, it's controlling you. They disrespect you. They undermine you. And what do? You react. You lash out. You scream. You fight back, trying to prove yourself, trying to get them to understand. But let me ask you something. Does it ever actually work? Does getting angry, yelling, trying to show them how hurt you are ever make them respect you? No. It only gives them what they want. It only feeds the fire they started. See, you're not just angry, you're scared. You're scared of being dismissed, of being ignored, of being treated like you don't matter. And that fear, the fear of being overlooked, of being less than, they use it against you. They know exactly how to poke and prod, how to make you feel small. They push your buttons, waiting for you to snap, and when you do, they win. You're trapped in their game, controlled by their actions, manipulated by your own emotions. But that's not the worst part, is it? No, the worst part is that you've come to expect it. You've come to accept that disrespect is just part of the deal. You've convinced yourself that it's normal, that you deserve it, or worse, that you're powerless to stop it. You've let their opinions become your reality. You've let their behavior define your worth. And every time they disrespect you, you give them a piece of your soul. You think you're strong because you fight back. You think you're showing them who's in control. But what happens when the fight leaves you empty? What happens when all that anger fades and you're left with nothing but the weight of your own bitterness? You've lost. Every time you give in to that chaos, you've lost. You're handing them the keys to your mind, to your peace, to your power. This is the trap, the cycle that keeps you weak. It doesn't matter if you're dealing with friends, family, co-workers, or strangers. The disrespect doesn't change, it just wears a different face. And you fall into the same pattern, over and over again, thinking that the next time will be different, that this time your words will make a difference, that this time you'll finally show them what they've done. But it doesn't work. It never works. And here's the sad truth, they don't even care. They never did. They're not losing sleep over your pain. They're not thinking about you when they go home, replaying your reactions in their heads. You're just a character in their story, a side note in their drama. They've got their own issues, their own insecurities, and they're using you as a punching bag, as a way to deflect their own problems. You think they're disrespecting you because you're weak? No, they're disrespecting you because they sense your weakness. They see the cracks in your armor, and they strike. They know exactly how to exploit your fear of rejection, your fear of being insignificant. So you react, you give them the satisfaction. and they keep pushing, keep testing, keep seeing how much they can get away with. But here's the thing, they're laughing. They're laughing at you, at your attempts to fight, at your desperate need to prove yourself. The harder you fight, the more they enjoy the show. They're not interested in you winning. They're interested in watching you break. So you keep giving them your energy, your attention, your power, and in return, they give you nothing but more disrespect. It's a game you're doomed to lose. Now, let's face it. It's hard to admit, but you're letting them win. You're letting them control you, and you're trapped in this never-ending loop of anger, regret, and fear. You think the only way to fight back is to lash out, to demand an apology, to get them to understand. But the truth is, the more you try to get them to see your pain, the more they see your weakness. They don't respect you because you're too busy showing them how desperate you are for respect. So here you are, stuck, caught between wanting to fight back and feeling helpless in the face of their disrespect. And every time they step on you, it feels like you're being swallowed whole. The longer you stay in this cycle, the harder it is to break free. You keep thinking it's going to stop, that one day they'll get the message. But deep down, you know it's only going to get worse. And the more you fight, the more you lose. Doesn't it make you want to stop playing their game? Doesn't it make you wonder if there's another way, one that doesn't involve tearing yourself apart just to prove you're worthy? Now let's get down to it. No more dancing around the truth. You've let them disrespect you, haven't you? You've let them walk all over you, laughing in your face, and all you've done in return is try to show them just how wrong they are. But here's the thing, and this is where it gets uncomfortable. They don't care. They don't care about your pain. They don't care about your struggle. They don't care about your feelings. So why the hell are you still playing their game? You think you're going to change their mind by fighting back? By screaming, yelling, demanding an apology? You think that by showing them just how much they've hurt you, you're going to suddenly gain their respect? It doesn't work like that. They've already written you off as weak. You're a pawn in their little game, and the moment you react, the moment you show them how much their disrespect affects you, you're just giving them exactly what they want. You're letting them control the narrative. They get to decide how you feel, how you respond, and in the end, they get to walk away untouched, while you're left picking up the pieces of your own dignity. You've been living in a prison of your own making, clinging to this desperate hope that somehow, some way, they'll see the light and treat you with respect. But they won't, and deep down you know that. They never will. So why are you still begging for scraps of their attention? Why are you letting them dictate your worth, making you feel small, insignificant, like an afterthought? You're better than that, aren't you? You think you deserve more, don't you? Then stop acting like you don't. Stop waiting for validation from people who've already proven they don't care. You think that by reacting, by showing them your pain, you're standing up for yourself. Wrong. You're giving them power. They're watching you crumble, watching your desperation as you beg for their respect. And every time you respond, you're just confirming what they already believe, that you're weak, that you're easy to break, that you'll bend to their will the moment they push. It's not strength. It's not power. It's submission. But what if you didn't react? What if you refused to give them the satisfaction? What if you stayed silent, not because you're scared or weak, but because you've realized that they don't have a single ounce of power over you unless you allow them to? What if you stopped fighting for their approval, stopped begging for their respect, and started demanding it from yourself? You think silence is passive? Think again. Silence isn't weakness, it's control. It's power. It's the ultimate weapon. Because when you refuse to react, when you stop giving them the chaos they crave, you force them to confront the truth. You become the master of the situation. Now, let me challenge you, and this isn't going to be easy. Stop wasting your energy trying to change their minds. Stop trying to prove that you're worth their respect, because they're not going to give it to you. They won't. And the more you chase after their validation, the more you show them that you need it, the further you fall into their trap. You're giving them your power piece by piece, while they just sit back and laugh at your futile attempts to win their favor. So, what's your move? Will you keep playing their game, reacting, pleading, begging for respect that they'll never give you? Or are you finally ready to take control? to stop letting them decide your worth, to silence them with your indifference and leave them scrambling to figure out why their insults no longer land. It's time to stop running in circles, thinking the next apology or the next confrontation will make things right. It's time to break the cycle, to step outside their game and play by your own rules. Because the truth is, they'll never give you respect until you start demanding it from yourself. And that starts by walking away from their disrespect, not letting it affect you, and letting them see just how little control they have over you. So ask yourself, what are you waiting for? Now that we've faced the harsh truth, let's talk about the solution, the way out of this endless cycle of disrespect, anger, and frustration. You want to take control. You want to stop letting people walk all over you. Stop giving them your energy, your peace, your power. And it starts with one simple truth: control your emotions, and you control everything. It's time to stop reacting. That's the first step. Stop giving them the satisfaction of seeing you crumble under their words, their actions. When they disrespect you, and you feel that familiar rage building inside, what's your first instinct? You want to fight back, don't you? You want to scream, to lash out, to demand that they see how much they've hurt you. But guess what? That's exactly what they want. They want to see you fall apart. They want to see you react, because in your reaction they gain control. But here's the game changer. Don't react. Don't give them the power to make you feel anything. Instead, sit back. Watch them. Let them spew their disrespect, their cruelty. But inside, you stay calm. You stay in control. You don't give them anything to feed on. When you master your emotions, when you refuse to let them dictate how you feel, you become untouchable. It's a process, sure. It's not something that happens overnight, but it's a skill and art that you can learn. Every time they try to provoke you, every time they try to drag you into their chaos, you'll be ready. You'll see their moves before they make them. And you won't fall for their tricks. You'll stand tall, unaffected, while they burn themselves out trying to get a rise out of you. But it's not just about silence. It's not just about holding your tongue or walking away. It's about taking control of your emotional state and transforming it into something powerful. When you stop letting their disrespect get to you, when you stop letting it control your mood, you begin to see the truth: you are in charge of your own destiny, and nobody can take that from you. Here's the secret. Pain doesn't make you strong. Control does. Pain is an emotional reaction, something that takes hold of you and pulls you into its grip. Control, on the other hand, is what gives you power. Control over your emotions, control over your thoughts, control over your actions. When you stop reacting to every slight, to every insult, you take away their ability to hurt you. And once they can no longer hurt you, you win. So how do you start? It starts by shifting your mindset. You have to stop seeing disrespect as something that requires a response. When they disrespect you, don't take it personally. Don't let it define who you are or how you feel. Instead, see it for what it is, a reflection of them, not you. Their disrespect is a sign of their weakness, their insecurity, their need to make themselves feel better by tearing you down. And guess what? You don't need to engage with that. Instead of responding with anger or frustration, respond with indifference. Treat their words and actions like they don't matter. Let them see that their insults, their barbs, don't affect you. And when you show them this, when you refuse to give them any emotional response, they'll start to realize something important: they're no longer in control. You are. And that's where the real power lies. The solution isn't about getting back at them, isn't about making them see the error of their ways. The solution is in not caring. The solution is in refusing to let them take up any more space in your mind or your heart. When you stop giving them your emotional energy, when you stop reacting, you break free from their control. This is where you begin to rise. This is where your true strength lies, not in the battles you fight with others, but in the battles you fight within yourself. Every time you hold your ground, every time you refuse to engage with their disrespect, you gain a little more control, a little more mastery over your emotions. And as you build this inner strength, as you learn to control your responses, you'll begin to see the world differently. You'll see yourself differently. You'll see yourself as someone who is untouchable, someone who doesn't need validation from others to know the value, someone who commands respect simply by existing, by refusing to be controlled. Because when you control your emotions, you become a force of nature, And that's when you truly become unstoppable. So, remember this, the solution isn't in fighting back. It's in not fighting at all. The true power lies in controlling your own mind, your own emotions, and letting them watch as you rise, unbothered, unshaken, and untouchable. Now, let's take a moment to visualize. Imagine, just for a second, that you've taken control. You've stopped reacting, stopped begging for their respect, stopped letting their words and actions dictate how you feel. You've harnessed the power of silence, the power of indifference. You've mastered your emotions, and in doing so, you've stepped into a realm of empowerment that very few will ever know. Feel it. The quiet strength. The confidence that comes from knowing you are no longer controlled by anyone but yourself. The more you practice this, the more it becomes second nature. It's like a muscle that grows stronger every time you use it. Your anger, controlled. Your fear, directed. Your sadness, transformed into resolve. Picture this. The next time someone tries to disrespect you, tries to push your buttons, you don't flinch. You don't even flinch. There's no explosion of emotion, no eruption of rage or hurt. You stay calm, your eyes steady, and your mind clear. Inside, you feel like a rock solid, unmovable. On the outside, you remain composed, unshaken, unaffected. And for the first time, you realize something incredible. You are in control. This is power. Real power. The kind of power that doesn't need to shout or prove anything. You don't need to fight back. You don't need to argue, plead, or make them see a point of view. You don't need any of that. The true power is in not needing anything from them at all. You stand firm, not because you have something to prove, but because you have nothing to lose. You are complete, whole, in control of your own destiny. Every time you refuse to react, every time you stay silent, you gain more power. You grow stronger. You learn to navigate through life with a quiet confidence, knowing that no one, no matter how much they try to disrespect you, can shake you. And do you know what happens then? They start to notice. They start to realize that their tactics don't work on you anymore. The insults, the disrespect, the attempts to provoke, none of it matters. They start to see that they're dealing with someone who is above it all. Someone who isn't fooled by their games, someone who isn't desperate for their approval or validation. And that's when the tables turn. That's when they begin to doubt themselves. Because deep down, they know they can't control you anymore. They know that every time they try, they're just wasting their energy. You're untouchable. And let me tell you something else, this changes everything. It changes how people see you. It changes how you see yourself. When you're no longer giving your power away to those who disrespect you, when you stop seeking validation from those who'll never give it, you begin to see just how much you're worth. You realize that you've been playing small, living in the shadows of others' opinions. But now you step into the light. And you don't just step into the light, you own it. You stand there strong and unyielding, knowing that you are worthy of respect, not because they say so, but because you've decided it for yourself. You've stopped letting the opinions of others shape your sense of self-worth. You've stopped handing over your power to those who seek to tear you down. Now, you hold it all in your hands. Think about how liberating that is. No more second-guessing yourself. No more wondering if you're good enough. You are good enough. You are more than enough. You are not defined by their actions, their words, their judgments. You are defined by your own strength, your own resolve. And the moment you realize this, you become unstoppable. Your silence, your control, your refusal to react, it's no longer just a defense mechanism. It's a weapon you wield with precision. And as you grow more powerful, more centered, more in control, the world around you begins to shift. People start to treat you differently. They start to respect you not because you demand it, but because you've earned, if simply by refusing to be controlled by their opinions. But here's the kicker, this power doesn't come from being untouchable. It comes from knowing that you don't need anyone else's approval to feel whole. You're not out to please anyone, to beg for respect. You're here to own your life, to chart your own course, to live by your own rules. When you stop reacting, when you stop caring about what they think, you take back everything they've ever stolen from you. So here's what you do, you walk forward. You walk with your head held high, with that quiet strength that's undeniable. You don't need anyone's validation. anyone's respect. The only person you need to answer to is yourself. And that's what makes you a force to be reckoned with. You have the power to change your life, to shape your destiny, to rise above their petty disrespect and become someone who commands attention, not through force, but through sheer, undeniable control. This is your moment. This is your time. So step into it. Embrace it. Own it. And never, ever let them see you sweat. And now, we've arrived at the moment of truth. Everything we've talked about, all the lessons, the realizations, the pain you've felt, the growth you've experienced, it all leads to this one final act. This is where the rubber meets the road, where you stop sitting idly by, watching life happen around you, and you start taking action. Now, you're in control, and it's time to prove it. Listen closely. You've learned the hard way. You've been knocked down, disrespected, broken apart piece by piece, and you've had to rebuild yourself. But now, you're stronger. Now you stand taller, you don't bend, you don't break, you don't bow to anyone. Not anymore. And let me tell you something, you have to take control. Right now. You've walked the path, you've seen the truth, and now you need to step into the power you've been cultivating. No more hesitation, no more playing it safe. The time for doubt is over. The world will bow to those who pull the strings, not to those who are pulled. And right now, you have the chance to become the one who pulls the strings. This is your moment to decide, what kind of person do you want to be? Will you continue to let others disrespect you, to dictate your worth, your emotions, your actions? Will you keep begging for their validation, for their approval, for their attention? Or will you take control, stand firm, and make them watch as you rise, unbothered, unstoppable, and untouchable? Make no mistake, this isn't about revenge. This isn't about showing them they're wrong, or proving that you're better. This is about control. Control over your emotions, control over your reactions, control over your future. Because once you stop reacting, once you stop giving them the power to shape your destiny, that's when you truly begin to rise. You think you've been living your life in control, but the truth is, you've been living for their approval, for their validation. You've been waiting for them to see your worth, and when they didn't, you let it tear you down. But now you don't need them. You've already found your worth. You've already taken control of your mind, your emotions, your actions. And once you realize this, once you step into this power, you become invincible. So, stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the right moment. Stop waiting for someone to give you the respect you deserve. Because the truth is they won't. They never will. But you can. You can give it to yourself. You can decide right now that you are worthy. You can decide that nothing and no one will ever have the power to make you feel small again. This is your time. The moment when you decide to stop giving a damn about what they think. The moment when you stop being their puppet, their plaything, and start becoming the master of your own life. The moment when you stop feeling sorry for yourself and realize the truth, you are the one in control. The disrespect. Let it roll off you like water off a duck's back. The insults. Let them bounce off your skin. They have no power. No control. Only you do. And once you realize this, once you understand that your peace is in your hands, you will never again allow anyone to steal it from you. And now I'm asking you to act, right now. Today, take that first step. The next time someone tries to drag you down, when they try to get under your skin, when they push your buttons, don't react. Don't give them the satisfaction. Stand tall, stay calm, and watch them crumble. I don't care if it's a boss, a colleague, a friend, or even family. Don't give them your energy. Don't give them your power. Your life is yours. The moment you stop letting them control your emotions, your responses, that's the moment you start controlling your own fate. And when you control your fate, you control everything. Walk away from their disrespect, their insults, their petty attempts to get to you. You are better than that. You are stronger than that. You are stronger than that. You don't need to stoop to their level. You are above it all. And when you realize this, when you embody this truth, you will never again let anyone pull your strings. You will be the one pulling theirs. So what are you waiting for? You've been given the tools, the insight, and the power. Now it's time to use them. Stand up, take charge, rise. Because once you do, nothing, no one, and no force in this world will ever be able to stop you. You are untouchable. You are unstoppable. You are in control. And this is only the beginning. So go, take control, and let them watch as you rise.